Right, Shalom, I'll give no praise out there, Bashim Hashem, Bashim Kodash, the bottomless unto the apostles, the great millstone, and the honest true brothers, the people sharing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody, are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh, Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Kodash, give no praise out there, Bashim Hashem, Bashim Kodash. Okay, so this is going to be a relatively quick video based upon this particular precept here that we see within the book of Daniel, the first chapter and the 12th verse. And something that I've been looking at, in my own personal walk, based upon this particular scripture here. So we read the scripture, and basically Daniel, right, and had been offered the king's meat, and pretty much he refused the king's meat and said, look, give us pulse instead, right? Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and to drink. Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and our countenance and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. So I've been experimenting with something here with the food. Diet is a very important thing, and we got to take care of our diets out here in this kingdom. Obviously, there's only so much you could do, and obviously there's going to be budgetary constraints. But I think this is a pretty good way to go with some compromises here and there with the pulses, and pretty much pulses is beans. Okay, pulses is beans, right? Let's see what we can get here. We got lentils, right? Greens, pinto beans, that kind of thing. One of the things that I was grappling with for a long time is, how do you finesse it? How do you make it taste good? Okay, how do you put it together? How do you put together a meal that's gonna be nutritionally good? That's based on legumes, beans, and that's gonna be tasty. And I'm gonna give you a tip and a trick. I ain't got no pictures today, but this is what I do at the minute, and this is basically my lunch meal for 4 days out of the week, and it's proven itself to be very good as it stands. I might tweak a few things here and there, but I'll go into what I do, and I'll go into some of the nutritional facts. And obviously you've seen the history and you've seen the example that the forefathers had made. They said, look, man, look on our skin, look on our countenance, right? And obviously they had a better look about them after the dispensation of time, because obviously this is a very good way of eating, right? It's very good for the body, as we're gonna see within the examples, within this factual data that we got here. So let's look at the data. We're looking at 100 grams of pinto beans. Not a lot of fat, okay? Not a lot of fat. You got some carbs there. It's about 60% carbs, but it's not a lot of fat in there. All right, it's low on the low glycemic index, so it's not going to spike your sugar or anything. It's going to be absorbed much better than bread. Something crazy like that. Look at this. This is what interests me for you gym going brothers out there. All right, this is of interest. So it's 269 calories for chickpeas, 14.5 grams of protein, okay, right? A little bit of carbs in there, fiber, right? You got a lot of what they call macronutrition, right? So it's very, very nutritious, man. Very, very nutritious way of eating. What we got here, lentils. And what I do is I mix these beans up, right? I usually buy mixed beans. Now the best way to do it is to get a bag of beans that's already dried up, right? That's the healthiest way of doing it. Getting raw beans, boiling them, right? Boiling them thoroughly. Usually takes about, you usually put them in water overnight, and then you cook them through. But I just don't have the time to do that, so I have to compromise with the canned beans or pre-packaged beans. That's my compromise, and I'll get back to how I prepare them in a second. But you see some of these nutritional benefits here. It's a lot of nutritional benefits, and that's why the forefathers said, look at our skin after. Look at how we look after, and we're gonna look better than the people that eat the portion of the king's meat, right? Thiamine, folate, manganese, vitamin K. I believe somewhere said it's a nutritionally complete way of eating, and especially when you mix those beans up like I do. You do a big mixed bean, not a salad, but you just mix the beans up, right? I got chickpeas in there, I got black beans in there, I got pinto beans in there, I got some corn in there. Okay, I mix it up, and again, like I said, I got to compromise, right? Just based upon time with the pre-packaged stuff. That's my compromise. But obviously, it's gonna be better especially if you've got like a wife at home, or you got kids that are a little bit older, where you could teach them how to prepare particular meals, and that's gonna be a good thing for them to get into, right? How to prepare beans, and usually you take your time with it. It's about half a day's work, right? Because you gotta You got to take them from dried state, right? Put them in water, let them soak overnight, and then you boil them through for an hour or 2 hours. I forget exactly how to do it. You got to check out on Google. That's the healthiest way to do it. Okay, that's the healthiest way to do it. But that's my compromise just based upon my situation. And obviously, like I said, I mix them up. Black beans. Look at the black beans. High protein. This is 172 grams of them, which is not a lot, really. Right, 15 grams of protein, not a lot of fat. Again, a little bit of carbs in there. You need carbs, right? All kind of macronutrition. Again, like I said, I keep on hinging back to what the forefather said. He said, look at our vision. Look how we look at our visage, I believe the word is, right? Look how we look after we eat this particular portion of food, right? And you're going to see us, right? We're going to look better, right? What else did they say here? They said something about, right? Studies in hamsters found that pinto beans lower cholesterol levels, okay? Decreasing intestinal absorption of the liver, right? Of the production of cholesterol. That's going to be good, right? Pinto beans pack a ton of copper. This is a mineral that plays a role in creating energy, so you feel higher energy. What else we got here? And each type of bean has got a slightly different benefits to it. You got to check it out for yourself. Here we go. A few large observational studies have found that eating peanuts, which that's another legume, is associated with lower risk of death, right? Including many causes of death, so like including heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, right? So beans, right? Beans, peanuts, all that kind of stuff. That's gonna be good eating, man. That's good eating, and you're gonna feel fuller. You're gonna feel better. Now, again, like I said, I was gonna tell you how I prepare it personally, and this has been really working out for me. So I prepare a meal that consists of, a bean mixture. So I mix up my beans, right? And after I've mixed up my beans and it's all drained and it hasn't got no water in it, I put it in a container because that's how I take it to the job, right? And then what I do is I get some shallots, right? I get some radishes. I get some peppers, and I saute them. Now, if you're gonna saute them, you saute them in, olive oil is gonna be better. But I just, whatever I got in the house at the time, that's what I use. Okay, saute it, just like a nice bunch, right? Get a nice bunch of what do you call it? A nice bunch of these vegetables that I just mentioned, right? And saute it with nice bit of seasoning, right? You can put some marinades and stuff like that in there. That's gonna make it taste even better, right? Like some liquid based seasonings, that kind of stuff to give it that umami flavor, right? Because you want it to have like you go to a steakhouse and they put the onions on you. It's got a little bit of a residual moisture in there. It's got some like some gravy to it. That's the word I'm looking for. But it's not gravy. It's like gravy with the onions, the fried radishes, the fried peppers and that. That's what you're going for. Just a little bit of moisture in there, and you're gonna put that on the top, okay? And then I put some salad cheese. I put some boiled eggs, and man, that's a meal for me right there. That's a meal for me. Right now, I've been playing with it. I saute different things. I saute shallots with some seasonings. Okay, I put soy sauce in there, right? Some Worcestershire sauce in there. Obviously, you got to check the back of these packets sometimes, right, to make sure you ain't getting, the soy sauce that's got the poison in there, or the Worcestershire sauce that's got the poison in there. I bang a little bit of that. I bang some seasoning on that. I put it on top of my beans, right? And I'll make another version of it. I might just do the radishes. I'll do the radishes, saute the radishes again, with some seasonings, maybe just the Worcestershire sauce, or maybe just the soy sauce. Again, you got to check these ingredients to make sure it's all kosher, right? Where you get it from, because there's variations depending on where you buy it from and what they put in there, right? And that's a meal for me, man. That's a meal. Obviously, you got to check the salt too. You want to go for the reduced salt if you can go for the reduced salt, but that's a meal for me, man. I'm eating. And I tell you what, I feel like I feel better, right? It might be placebo effect, but I feel like I feel better. Okay, and I feel like like the scripture said within the book of Daniel, I feel like I look better. Okay, I feel like I got that glow. I mean, it's just might be my imagination, but what we can see is this. Okay, we got all of these benefits over here. We ain't got that bread. Okay, we haven't got those 100% carb meals like rice. Okay, we ain't got no rice in there, white rice, which is terrible for you. That's just sugar, right? We ain't got no white bread in there, and it's a meal. And the good thing about this is, depending on how you put it together, this is a very, very cheap meal. It's a very, very cheap meal that you can eat consistently, right? You can eat this every day. This could be your main meal. Let's say a brother's only got £20 to eat per week. You could realistically eat for £20, $20 a week and have a complete nutritionally balanced, we ain't no doctors, right? We ain't no doctors, but it's a nutritionally complete way of eating where you don't need a huge budget for it. You ain't got to go out there and spend £20, $10, $15 on, 6 ounces on a steak. Okay, £20, £10 on beans, £10 on the vegetables that I mentioned and the cheese and that. It's like, brother, you're eating good for a whole week. I'm telling you, you're eating good for a whole week and you feel full, okay? You feel full. So that's the little thing I've been doing with my diet a little bit, right? Obviously, that's not the only thing that, that you should be doing with your diet. You got to have a complete way of eating, all right? But if you're on a budget, all right, or you just want to try something different, that's one way of doing it. And again, like I said, watch how they prepare them sauteed, vegetables, right, within the restaurants. Like when you go to eat a steak meal and you have the sauteed onions on there, like an onion gravy, okay, like an onion gravy, but not with the gravy, but just enough till you get some moisture. Even if you want to put the gravy in there, that might be even better. Okay, the onion gravy in there, you throw that on top of the beans, and man, oh, you're eating, man, you're eating. Okay, so that's just a little tip and trick. Without myself, presente bashi masha bashi mukwa kodash tabonas onto the apostles of great millstone, and I honor you brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity. I'll speak to you on the next one. Shalom.